Hi, and welcome to my native prairie garden tour. This is our house. We're in the suburbs of Chicago. So I'm just going to go through some of the things in my yard that are in bloom right now. I think sometimes it's better to see these plants on video. You can see them moving around. You can see the insects that are visiting them. This is Monarda bradburiana. It blooms earlier than the Monarda that you commonly see grown in gardens. It's also short, and it seems to spread a little bit less. And our oak tree leafed out a few weeks ago. This is a bur oak that we planted back in 2013. Here we have the last blooms on our shooting star. We have a few of these around our front walk. And this little milkweed is called ovalifolia milkweed. I think it's really pretty and blooms early. It's actually threatened in Illinois. This is heartleaf golden Alexander, and that's been blooming probably for about a month now. And this is our hop tree. So over here we have a bunch of columbine. My kids love to take the little black seeds and spread them all over the yard, and they germinate really easily, so we have a lot of columbine around our yard. This is our bloodroot down here. We have this a few spots in our yard. It's not blooming anymore, but I really like the leaf shape. And this is blue false indigo. We have one here and then a larger one back here. And back here we have a couple prairie dock. This is the larger one. The leaves feel cool when you touch them. These can take up to 7 years to bloom, but I'm really hoping that this plant, which is a couple of years old, will bloom this year, just based on how big the leaves are. This is Virginia waterleaf. This was a volunteer in our yard. I liked it so much that I divided it up and used it for this area, which kind of leads to our rain garden. So on the left is Cytodes grama, and then on the right is Pennsylvania sedge. And back here we have a rain garden. Right next to it we've got some lanceleaf Coreopsis or sand Coreopsis that just started blooming. Back here we have some southern blue flag iris. And then here, this was a bunch of creeping Charlie, so I sheet mulched it with cardboard and mulch last fall, which was mostly successful except for the cardboard that the squirrels stole. But then I planted a bunch of wild strawberry here, so I'm hoping it'll fill in. This is early meadow rue that my mom grew for me using her winter sowing method, which is where you grow outside over the winter in milk jugs. Gotta get rid of that. Here's another Virginia waterleaf that volunteered here. And then this is ostrich fern. So back here is poke milkweed. This is one that I grew over last winter, or the previous winter. It's a shade-loving milkweed, and here is our first monarch of the year, which is really cool. Did not expect that. Here's some more columbine. Back here I have a little pagoda dogwood that's caged off. That was something my mom found on her property and gave to me. And here's more of that Monarda. You can see in the shade it doesn't bloom quite as much, but I still really like it. And here's the last of the blooms on our wild geranium. We had a ton of blooms on this year, so I'm hoping it'll spread. It's one of those that disperse seeds by basically flinging them. So they will probably plant themselves far and wide. And back here we have our bladder nut. And here is our newest shrub. It's a downy arrowwood viburnum. And it actually bloomed and it's put out a ton of new growth since I planted it about a month ago. And something's been eating it, not sure what, but it seems like it's doing okay. And it's kind of why we plant these plants, is to support insects. So as long as things don't get too out of control, it's a good thing. And then I also noticed on the leaves that a leaf cutter bee has been taking little parts of the leaves. You can see it a little more right here. I hope you enjoyed this tour. Let me know and I'll post another next month.